Okay, so in this video I'm going to go through the features which are related to the table of contents. So here I've actually got my UEC guide already loaded up into my Ultimate eBook Creator just as a demonstration, and as you can see that we have a whole bunch of chapters and sections and things like that. Okay, so let's click on the table of contents and we'll see a whole new interface. Okay, so we'll go through this one by one. It's actually very easy to understand and it's quite powerful. So first of all, over here in this text box I have the text table of contents. Now this relates to the title of the table of contents page. So if I bring up the Kindle desktop preview or viewer I should call it. Okay, so here's my desktop viewer. This piece of text here is actually the title of this table of contents page. Okay, now we can control we can rename this, and we can even show and hide this. And the way you do that is basically you can change this to say whatever you want. So we can call it TOC, and then we can even if we want to hide this, we can just basically uncheck this option so we don't show the title in the table of contents page like that. Okay, because some people want to show it, some people want to rename it, some people don't want to show it. So here's your options, and I'm not going to go through this, but once again you can change the font and you can change the justification of this, right? So here's the font, you can change that, and then you can make it left, right, or center justified. Okay, so that is the title of the table of contents. Now over here on the left hand side of this list view control, we see all our table of contents items, right? So these are all the chapters, and then the indented ones are all the sections. Okay, and over here we see that for each type of item, which is a chapter or a section, we see three options here: showing TOC, show title, and page break. Okay, so what do they mean? So let me explain this. The first option is saying that this item will show up in the table of contents. Okay, so if we go here, this is our table of contents page, and if this said no, for example, if the title page said no here, then this item will not show up. So this title will not show up. So that option controls that. And how do you control these three options? Well, let me just take you into one of the title editor for the section or the chapter. So what you need to do is basically click on any chapter or section, and then right click and then just say rename chapter, or a quicker way is to just double click on the chapter itself. So if I just double click, it brings up my chapter and section title editor, and these options over here are the options that you're seeing in that list view control. So showing table of contents, and then show title, and then insert page break. So for chapters we always have a page break, so I don't allow you to change that. It's always going to be a page break, which means that the chapter will always show on a brand new page inside your device. Okay, so if you keep this in mind, then if we go back to the table of contents, you'll see that the title page is turned on. Now if I go to the title page, let me go to the title page, double click, and I'll turn this option off and this option off. I'll click OK. Then I go back to the table of contents. Then this shows that the title page will not show in the table of contents and will actually not show the title in the content. So if we go to the title page over here on the top, it won't show the actual text which says title page. Okay, and this is the same thing with the page break. So if that option is checked on, so for example, if we go to the section, let's go to one of the sections. So if we turn this option off for this how to create an ebook section, we'll click OK and we go to the TOC. how to create an ebook on UEC, you see that this page break is turned off. It says no. So this is a really fast and quick way to basically review all the pages you've got turned on and off and all these other options. So it's a really convenient place for you to kind of have a look and see that, you know, what is turned off, what is turned on, what do we see, what we don't see, etc., etc. Okay, so that's that. The other cool thing you can do with the table of contents is to change the font and size of the table of content items. And to do that, all you have to do is simply right click anywhere inside this area, and then you have two options, chapter font or section font. So for example, let's go to section font, and then right now it's bold, so let's just make it regular. Okay, and as you can see, it does reflect the type of font that you've selected and the style of the font too. So now all the chapters actually stand out, and all the sections are indented and they are not bolded. Okay, so let's say for example we want to change the table of contents title to say TOC, right? No, in fact, let me just do this, table of contents, and let's just say we do not want to show this title, so we're going to turn this option off, right? And a lot of people don't like the title page to show up in the TOC, so let's basically do that. We'll double click on the title page, and then this option here will say showing table of contents. We'll uncheck that and we'll click OK. So now when we go back to the table of contents, we are not going to show this title, this piece of text in the table of contents, and also we are not going to show the table of contents title in the table of contents page. Okay, so let's go ahead and we'll export this as a MOBI file. We're just going to put it on the desktop. Okay. Okay, so it's created, and let me just load this up into the Kindle Previewer. Actually, we just need to do one thing. Actually, one of the problems with this Kindle Previewer, as I did explain in my user guide, is that once you have this loaded, if you want to see any updates, you need to physically delete this from the viewer. So we'll select it, right click, and then say delete this book, and then we have to close it down again. And so now we double click on the UEC guide, the MOBI file, and here comes the Kindle desktop viewer, and let's go to the table of contents. Okay, so as you can see, we no longer see the title page as an item in the table of contents, and also the table of contents title, which is over here. And remember, we marked that as do not show the title, so the title doesn't show up, and also the title page item does not show up here as well. So that is it. Let me just close this up, and oh yeah, one more thing. As you can see, the font has taken shape as well. So we've got the bold font going on with the chapter, and then we've got the normal font that we have down here for the sections. Okay, and because the device doesn't actually scroll, we'd have to go to the next page to see the rest of the TOC, and then the book starts itself. Okay, and finally, one last feature is let me show you how you can set these three options in a bulk fashion. And the reason you might want to do that is that you might want to reset everything back to showing TOC, showing title and page break, and then you might want to just check individual ones, and it saves a lot of time instead of going through one chapter or section at a time and trying to basically set these options. So the bulk actions are within the edit menu here. So we go edit and then chapter, and then we can have basically two options here. We can either show the title on, or we don't show, and same with the table of contents. So if you keep an eye on this area here for this, for example, the showing table of contents, if I uncheck all, you'll see that the now showing table of contents is all turned off for the chapters, right? And we can do the same thing for chapter and show title. I'm going to say uncheck all, so now these are all unchecked as well. Okay, there is no option for page break because by default all chapters and even the title page, there is always a page break, and it's by design, so you can't turn off for chapters, but you can do that for sections. So for example, if I go to the sections, I can say uncheck all for insert page break, and you'll see that all the page breaks for the sections, which are these guys here, they all get turned off. Okay, so that was just the last bit of feature. If you want to do bulk actions for chapters or sections, then you can do that, and I hope you find that useful.